Hi, Bryn.
Hey, how's it going, Eric?
Good, thanks. I'm kind of thinking maybe we could dive into a song and then come back and chat.
Sounds good.
What are you going to play for us?
This is my song, and it is called $50 Feeling. Me and her and the neighbor girl huddled around the phone, asking the disc jockey, will you please play our song? Maybe 3 hours later, we'd scream when we heard it come down the radio. We'd sing every word, and it's hard to find that kind of feeling all the time, to get that $50 feeling on the back of a dime. And it's hard to change when something that you love turns strange, when something that you know gets rearranged. I bought my first record back in 1989, 50-cent copy of Nashville Skyline. It was scratched on the second track and it skipped on the eighth. Now it plays on my telephone, but I miss the mistakes. And it's hard to find that kind of feeling all the time, to get that $50 feeling on the back of a dime. And it's hard to change when something that you love turns strange, when something that you know gets rearranged. Buzz of the radio, the hiss of the tape, the space in between things seems to fade these days. Faith no more at the warfield, we met in the line, kissed in the parking lot, and I lost her inside. Every time I drive Market Street, I look for her face. It's been more than 20 years, but I'm saving her place. And it's hard to find that kind of feeling all the time, to get that $50 feeling on the back of a dime. And it's hard to change when something that you love turns strange, when something that you know gets rearranged. And it's hard, yeah, it's hard, yeah, it's hard.
Bryn Loosley, live on there. Is it loosely or loosely?
Loosely.
Loosely. Yeah. Got it. Thank you.
Thanks
It
for
means a
caring.
pigsty and a clearing in the woods.
It does. This is my sister. That's how she knows that.
Hi,
loosely
sister.
means-
Hi.
With no name.
This is Heather.
Hi, Heather.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was trying, following the theme and subject matter of that song, trying to like experience it for the first time because I'd never heard it before.
The theme is kind of like, rah, things aren't as good as they used to be.
I wasn't getting that.
Oh, really?
I was getting like a kind of like a bittersweet nostalgia kind of thing.
Cool. I like that better.
And then there was also a component of when you were talking about finding the record that that it skipped and that
and was scratched. Yeah. And
like there's kind of like a gem digging too, because like isn't the chorus is a $50 like basically a gem of an experience on very little money.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like this kind of like finding a diamond in the rough kind of excitement.
And also that it feels that you have to reach for those experiences more as you get older, whereas they were very immediate and accessible when you were younger.
It just gets worse.
Thanks. Yeah. Good to know.
Yeah. So so you wrote that song? Mm-hmm. Okay. Was that on a recent record that you've done, or
no? That's a newer one, so we haven't had a chance to record that yet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was that the first on air?
That was the first on air performance. Yeah.
Making history every day here.
Yeah, I've played it
Pig.
with my band, the Back Pages, a few times, but that's the first time on KPIG.
Nice. So you've got a show coming up.
Yeah.
And I knew that it was at the Kuumbwa on April 28th, which is a Saturday. But you came in and gave me more information about the show, and I was excited to learn that you're doing a concert. Well, I don't know. Maybe you tell us about it a little bit. It's a concert of an album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're playing a full album, live and unabridged. We're going to do all of Tom Petty's Wildflowers, and this is the fourth one of these kind of. It's become our little annual series now at the Kuumbwa that we've done, where we play the whole album all the way through. So I think 3 years ago we did the band, and then 2 years ago it was Nashville Skyline, which got name dropped in that last song, and then last year it was Neil Young's Harvest, and this year we're doing all of Wildflowers.
Do you find it's? I would imagine as a musician. Well, it's obviously a really clearly defined goal to achieve every year, right? Like you know exactly how much work you need to, at least how many songs you need to do, right?
Yeah, picking the album is actually the most fun part of it, and then
right.
all the work is kind of the hardest part.
Combing through it and getting the details right.
Yeah, listening to it over and over and over, and
right.
And also, kind of growing to resent it after a while. Right. I've heard it so many times.
It's a process.
Yeah, but then coming back and really feeling it again at the show. So we're somewhere in the middle of that process right now.
Right.
It's a long album too. It's 15 songs. Wildflowers is. And
it's a serious set of music.
It is.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite Tom Petty albums. But it's also kind of the most known. I think it's got a lot of well-known songs on it. So
right.
in addition to the title track Wildflowers, it's got You Don't Know How It Feels and Good to Be King and quite a few others as well that people tend to recognize of his material.
If you're
not that he's obscure in any sense.
Sure, no, but the ones that got less accessible to a wider audience, right?
Right. Yeah.
I think that. So when you do the album live, do you tend to do things as they were presented, or do you embellish a little bit? It's one of those things that if people are expecting, an album experience, maybe an album that they know every square inch of, right. It might be. I could see it being kind of challenging to maybe take the risk of embellishing, or do you just do it straight?
Yeah, it's we try and do it either all one way or the other. So if we're gonna take a song and just do it straight, we listen to the arrangement and we try and replicate it as best we can.
Sure.
And we've got a large band, and we add on a couple guests for these shows too. We're normally 6 pieces, and then we have a fiddle player and a multi-instrumentalist who joins us too to kind of pick up those little other pieces.
Sure.
So we can try and keep it accurate. And then if we don't do that because it's just not going to be the right sound for us, then we try and reinvent it as much as we possibly can and
right.
Take it as far apart from we can. But you're right that people know and are very protective of the albums. Like we've had people who come every year who are like vocally, anticipating what's going
right.
to happen next. Or I remember I said when we were doing Nashville Skyline, I said, I think this record's like 28 minutes long. It's really short. And somebody called out, it's 28:32. Like,
right.
Knew exactly how long it was.
Nerd. Right. Wow. That's
so
amazing.
Someone will be there like that.
Yeah, right.
Show. Yeah.
Can you please everybody? The answer is probably not.
But we want to at least try to be protective of it.
Right. Respect the sacred nature.
Exactly. Respect the sacred text.
Totally. Yeah. Well, what are you going to play next for us?
So we want to play one song off Wildflowers. Sure. This is To Find a Friend. I think it's the 11th track, but I'm sure someone out there knows that I'm wrong. In the middle of his life,
He left his wife and ran off to be bad. Boy, it was sad. But he bought a new car, found a new bar, and went under another name, created a whole new game. And the days went by like paper in the wind. Everything changed, then changed again. It's hard to find a friend. It's hard to find a friend. Meanwhile then, his wife's boyfriend moved in and took over the house. Everybody was quiet as a mouse. And it changed their lives, it changed their plans. Slowly they grew apart. Boy, would have broke your heart. And the days went by like paper in the wind. Everything changed, then changed again. It's hard to find a friend. It's hard to find a friend. It's hard to find a friend. It's hard to find a friend.
Bryn and Heather Loosley, live on PIG. It's beautiful harmonies that you guys were doing. Have you guys been singing together as brother and sister for some time?
Yeah, we've been singing together in this band, the Back Pages, for 10 years now.
Yeah.
Just about 10 years.
Right.
And
We're old.
and we've had the same lineup for 10 years, which is the only band I've been in like that. But before that, we grew up singing in church. I don't
Yep.
think we ever really intentionally sang together though. But I was kind of the singer-songwriter, and I knew that she could sing. And so when I moved back to Santa Cruz 10 years ago, I asked if she'd want to join on.
You're like, it's like sisterly duty, right? Like,
Yep.
please back me up. Right. Great. So, Bryn, we'll be playing Saturday, April 28th, doing the album Wildflowers by Tom Petty. I think it's a fantastic concept, and you've done I'm imagining that doing this album was the final decision because of his passing more recently.
It was actually one that we kind of have an established, now in our fourth whole album concert, we have an established democratic system for choosing the album. So I don't just get to pick and be
It's a voting system.
You would think I would, but because my name's in front of the band. But everybody, we all have an equal vote, and this one has actually come up every year.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
it's time.
It felt very appropriate. Yeah.
Cool. And any ideas for future albums that you'd like to do for this?
Oh, that what Rolling Stones.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's been nominating.
I think maybe Captain Beefheart. We'll just really
Cool.
torture ourselves.
Right.
Maybe some Zappa.
Right.
Yeah.
Love
Just
it.
pick something even harder than
Right.
15 songs.
Every year, right? Better and better. Cool. All right. Well, we keep going with music. Cool. Love what you
Sounds
guys are
good.
doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next year, The Wall. Right. And there's tickets available for the show online too at brownpapertickets.com.
Okay, they're on brown paper.
They're at brown paper. You go to wildflowerslive.brownpapertickets.com.
If people wanted to check out your stuff online, where would they go?
So Bryn Music, BRYN music.com.
Awesome.
Yeah. And this is another one of our songs. It's called Ione. Have you ever been to Ione?
No.
No.
Is it like IONE?
IONE, yeah, exactly.
Where is that?
It's Central California, Central
Okay.
Northern California.
Is it like
It's
Central Northern California?
foothills below Jackson. That
Gotcha.
Kind of area.
It's hot in the summer.
If you had drove through it, you might not know it, but this is a song about Ione.
Cool.
Don't slow me down, I'm going to Ione. I've been moving so long, I need to settle down. 'Cause the love I found lives down in Ione town. And I know she's as good as gold. Back home in Trenton, I was working on the railroad line till I traded my pay for a berth on the brig John Lee. We made San Francisco in November '49. Heard the American was all panned out, so we'd better head north or south. And that's how I wound up broke on the Trinity. Sacramento River ain't as mighty as they make it out. Leastways, it ain't got nothing on the Delaware River back home. I spent 3 months here trying to get my outfit out. Yeah, and that's where I met Marie. Oh Lord, she was a sight to see. And she told me she was headed south down towards Ione. So don't slow me down, I'm going to Ione. I've been moving so long, I need to settle down. 'Cause the love I found lives down in Ione town. And I know she's as good as gold. Junction City don't hold nothing for a lonely man, but I came here anyway looking for a little bit of gold. I came with nothing but a shovel and an empty pan, yeah, not a nickel to my own good name. And after 6 months of working this claim, well, you'd better believe I got nothing but the same to show. There's no gold on the Trinity, not unless you got a river bottom dredge, or you're willing to work in the mines down Weaverville way. I got her letter and it talked me off the ledge. She told me she was quitting town. She was getting tired of hanging around. And if I wanted a hand, then I'd better get down to Ione. So don't slow me down, I'm going to Ione. I've been moving so long, I want to settle down. 'Cause the love I found lives down in Ione town. And I know she's as good as gold. Oh yeah, the love I found lives down in Ione town. And I know she's as good as gold.
Bryn and Heather Loosley playing live on the Pig. There was a New Jersey reference in there. I'm born and raised from New Jersey.
Right,
Yeah,
nice. Yeah, Trenton.
Yeah.
In there in the Delaware River.
started out. Is that where? I mean, obviously there's a character in a story in this story. And some of it.
So it starts out back home in Trenton. I was working on the railroad line till I traded my pay for a berth on the brig John Lee. So yeah, our character starts out in New Jersey and makes it down to far northern California on the Trinity.
What was was there some grand symbolism behind picking the Garden State as the source or the destination? You know?
I was probably just that Trenton scans really well. I don't know. It's
Right.
but yes, it was out of my deep and undying affection for New Jersey and all New Jerseyans.
Thank you. That's what I needed you to say. Well, you can see these guys Saturday, April 28th at the Cumbo Jazz Center in Santa Cruz. You'll be playing with your band, The Back Pages, doing Tom Petty's album Wildflowers. Plus some of your new and original material in addition.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah. I think that's great. Well, thank you very much for being on the show, you guys. That was wonderful.
Eric. Thank you.
We're going to go to break, and when we come back, we will be hearing from